So thank you everyone for being on time. And in the unit 992, when you log into your Connect, we have added some supplementary resources here, so around 39 files. And if you just go from the content and scroll, you will find 39 files here. We have NIST SP800. This is for the Computer Security Incident Handling Guide. This is really an important document, not only for your studies, but for your career. When you apply for a job as an incident handler or cybersecurity officer, you will find in the job description that the company asking for some knowledge and experience with this guide, the incident handling guide from NIST. They might also mention SANS, incident handlers handbook. So these two guides, two PDF files, are really important to go through them. It's a good idea if you take notes when you read them or summarize them. This will help you a lot in your interviews, not only answering the assessments for this unit or this qualification. From Certificate 4 point of view, we are referring to these guides multiple times in different units, and because they are very important and related to other units also, not only 992. The unit 992, as we explained before, it involves and includes lots of topics related to project management, cybersecurity, using project management tools, understanding the concepts of project management. Then from the cybersecurity side, we need to understand the blue team, red team, purple team, what they are doing, and how can we create similar environment. So we are doing all of that. At the same time, you will find some special publications from NIST, like the 884 document. You will find some information about the security onion, BFSense, the ISO file is there, and we have some Kali Linux network scanning cookbook. We have some commands. We have the project management. So this file, it's MPP file. It will open with the Microsoft project tool. Some other files helpful, really, like the search for login attempts, real world practices for incident response. NIST 886, this is the integrating forensic techniques into incident response. Cyber exercise playbook, this is very important. And then the 861, the incident handling guide. Of course, you can't read all of these in one session, just take it step by step, but going through these resources is really important. So these are the references, and we added there. Also, if you scroll down, you will find the different PowerPoints for the different topics we discussed in the past weeks, and we are discussing also this week and next week. So these are the PowerPoints with some details there. And if you remember in the beginning, let me go here in the learning resources, and I have uploaded yes, this file. So in this file we have, let me open it. And this is everything, all the PowerPoints in one file. So our friend Jeff helped with that, and or was Warren Icon. Yes, Warren Icon helped with that. If I'm not mixing the names. Anyway, so I have prepared these PowerPoints, and some students, they merged them into one file. So thank you for everyone helping here, or providing any piece of information or even asking questions. This will enrich the whole experience. So let me go through this document from the very beginning. So it's a kind of a revision in addition to discussing the new concepts. We need to understand everything here to the maximum that we can, because understanding project management will help you a lot in your career and advancing in your field. Whatever the field of IT or cybersecurity you are in, project management will help you a lot. In IT, we have lots of projects, network upgrades, implementing new policies, new procedures, implementing new devices, new security controls. We have new branches, expansion, and so on. So any of these things will become a project. So we need to understand the project management very well. And we will start as project management team members, then we will grow. Some of you, they will prefer to continue in the project management. It's really a good career, especially the cybersecurity project management. Easily search online for cybersecurity project managers jobs and see how much they are paying. Of course, above 120,000 a year. This is within Australia. In other countries, even you can get more than that, like Gulf area. So here in the project management, we in fact manage different constraints. We let's start with the word manage. What I mean by manage, if I'm saying that I am managing my time, or I am managing my money, I am managing my team. So what I'm doing exactly, anyone can help me? Yeah, anyone can
like
answer?
allocating time and resources to get jobs done in the quickest possible way possible.
Good. Any other inputs or idea of the word management?
Essentially making sure everyone's got a job when they're doing it, and doing it effectively, and
Yeah.
trying to keep the project in the most effective state as possible.
Okay, that's good. Some of you already working, so what's your manager doing every day in addition to meetings? the input here. So the word management means that we delegating work to others while having business lunches. Good. This is the good one. So when I manage something, first I need to monitor, and I need to know also what to manage in the beginning. Should I manage my time? Should I manage my team? Should I manage my thoughts, my money? So which thing I should manage, or which team I'm having to manage? So managing things, of course, it's different than managing people and teams. So I should monitor. I should take corrective actions. I should control. I should document. I should communicate. I should plan. So in simple words, when I'm managing something, I will monitor and control this thing. Okay. If I'm managing people, we will still doing the monitoring and controlling. Controlling means taking corrective actions based on the monitoring, but also we need to mentor people. We need to motivate people. We need to showing empathy with our team members. So when it comes to managing people, of course, the human aspect will be involved there. As we see in front of us, we manage different constraints here. And as project managers, we manage the project as a whole, which consists of different plans. So we have different plans and different constraints. We have 6 constraints. Of course, we have the three main constraints: time, quality, and scope. Also budget. So four constraints leads to the quality. So time, money, scope, and managing that with quality. So this is the 4th one. Then we have risk and the procurement. So total of 6 constraints. So we will execute. We need to getting it done. We need to get a result. We can have great ideas, but we need to plan for these ideas. The ideas for projects comes from different resources. It can come from people in our organization. It can come from changing in rules and regulations, laws in the country laws and acts. We can get the ideas or the need for the project from competitors or a change of technology. Just a few years ago, we never have the banking mobile applications, but now, because of having the technology of mobiles, everyone now carry the mobile, and inside the mobile you have your own banking application, so you can do transactions or buy something. In older days, we have to go to ATM or even the branch to get this money or transfer money or something. So at the moment, I don't remember when was the last time I visited my bank branch. Maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't need to go to the branch anymore. ATM machines, maybe once a month if I need to have some cash with me. So because of the technology, we use now mobile banking, mobile transfer. Even though I don't need to get your bank account details, now I can transfer to your mobile number. So all I need is just you give me your mobile number and I can transfer money to you. So yeah, all of you, I have your mobile numbers. Should I transfer money to you all? Yeah, everyone agrees? Yeah. Yeah, I have 17, yes. Or 16, yes. Everyone wants, yes, of course. Who will say no to money? Sounds good. I'll take as much as you're willing to give. I'll give you my bank account password. Okay, credentials, then you take all the money there. If you find any, If you find any, take it. If you didn't find, put some money there. Deal? Oh, yeah, this is the deal. Come on. This is the fair, no deal. Okay, so having a project will definitely make a difference because we are getting some output of this project, some outcome of this project. We are getting either a new product or service. We are getting also improvement in the current product or service. So every year we have new car model, new mobile phone models, iPhone 2013, iPhone 14, 15, 200, Samsung S22, S20, whatever. All these new products are projects. So the project will bring me the first prototype, the first model, then it becomes an operation. So operation like what? Like when you go to a hospital, this is they have operations. When you go to HR department, this is operation. It's routine, repeated work on daily basis. So this is the difference between projectized organizations and operational organizations. So a bank is an operational organization. Every day they are doing the same thing. But if the bank improving their website, it's a project. If the bank is improving their mobile application, it is a project. If they have new branch, it is a project. So this is the difference between the project and operations. Now, if I'm telling you I want to have my own business, I will start my own business, having a barber shop, planning for that, choosing the location, getting the money, decorating the place, renting the place, or buying the place, putting things there, doing the marketing, all these things until day one of operation. This is the project. So how long it will take me to prepare this barbershop? Maybe 6 months. So during that time, this is the project. Once I have the barbershop up and running, everything is fine, we start the operational part. So yes, we can use the knowledge we gained from previous projects, and this will improve the maturity. This also, we have what's so called lesson learned, and at the same time we document everything. So some of you told me that they need to understand more about project management and ask questions. So this is your chance here, and I'm always happy to receive questions. So we will have the project matching our strategy. We can get lots of ideas. If I go to McDonald's, I'm telling them, you know what? Many people, they like sushi. Why you don't sell sushi, McDonald's? Yeah, thank you. It's a good idea, but it doesn't match our strategy. So McDonald's, they don't sell sushi. But if you go to McDonald's in China, for example, they have rice with their meals. KFC in Egypt and in Gulf area, they have also rice with their meal. Whatever the meal is, you can request rice. So here we have potato and gravy, for example. There they have rice instead of the potato and gravy. So you can get rice with your meal, whether in McDonald's China or KFC Middle East. in 22 countries. So I think KFC in China also, they have rice. I don't remember. Yeah, I've been there, but I really don't remember. Anyway, what I'm trying to tell you here is the type of project that we pick to execute should match first our strategy. Second, do we have the capability to initiate and manage this project? I might have the perfect idea, but I don't have people to manage and execute this project. I don't have money to manage and execute this project, or the risk is too big. I can't really do it. So we can really have lots of ideas, but we pick up the correct idea according to our strategy, vision, mission, and capabilities also. So here, how we will do the project and what we are going to do and what we are not going to do. So not here comes from experience, comes from lesson learned, comes from the situation and the environment. Yeah. And planning is continuous. It is a continuous process. In Egypt and the other 22 countries in the Middle East, they don't have gravy and potato, they have rice. They don't have gravy and potato, they have rice. Yeah. Okay. So we, as project managers here or team members, we manage risk or different risks proactively. Some risks we can prevent, but there are some risks we can't. So flooding, it's a risk and it happens every year. So we can try to reduce the effect there. Yes, COVID is a new risk, came to place in the past almost 2 years. So we are trying to reduce the risk of COVID by taking vaccination, wearing masks, social distance, clean your hand, sanitize your hand, sometimes lockdown, stay at home, and so forth. So 2 years ago, no one ever thought about or imagined that we will have something called lockdown or stay at home. You don't go outside your home, like unless you for essential errands or 5 kilometers only, and no one ever imagined that we can't travel in or out. So yeah, there are risks we can reduce and there are risks we can prevent. Car accidents, for example, we train people, we test people, we have rules and regulations, we have some fines, penalties, we check alcohol and drugs, and all these things. But at the we have insurance, of course, but at the same time, we still have car accidents, but it's minimized. So we can reduce, for example, the speed limit. We can have more cameras on the road. We can spread awareness about driving and while drinking, don't drink and drive, and all these things. So we have controls in place, some technical controls, some physical controls, some administrative controls. So it's important to understand these parts to mitigate or minimize the risk. So when you manage a project, you are also either a team member or a project manager. As a project manager, the most important skill is, what is the most important skill for a project manager? Anyone can help me with that? As a project manager, what is the most important skill to have? No, not making coffee, Jeff.
Like time management, maybe?
Time management, maybe. Yeah, it's one of the skills, of course. What else? Julian said something. Darius, yeah, foresight, institution anticipation, being organized, yes. Inspire, yeah, we agree. What else? I'm not mentioning what Julian said now. Just
communication.
Yes, correct.
That's what Julian said.
Okay, Demi. Okay, Demi exposed the answer. I was trying to hide it. So communication is the most important skill to have as a project manager. And to be honest, communication is the most important skill to have as an employee in any field. Communication will help you a lot in advancing your career. Communication is important. Communication. What I mean by communication here, conveying the message by using different methods. Maybe you are a great person writing emails, but when it comes to face-to-face presentations, you need some improvement. So please improve on that. Exercise in front of a mirror, exercise in front of family members or friends, so you can improve your presentation skills. It's really important. One day, even though if you are working in service desk as a level 1 support, you might need to deliver a presentation just teaching users about new system in place. You need to teach them how to use it. Okay, so presentation skills, very important. How to create PowerPoint slides and good presentation, important. How to communicate clearly in the workplace. Some of us, they speak very fast, or we talk a lot. Or so if you are telling me something and you keep repeating, I will feel bored. If you are keep talking and talking, I might forget what was the subject or the topic or the message you need to deliver. Your body language, facial expression, hand gestures, all of these things comes to your tone, or your voice tone. Okay, all these things comes to communication. So believe me, many successful people, they are succeeded because of their communication skills, not because of technical skills only. You need the technical skills, of course, but you need the communication skills as your first priority, not only as a project manager or team member, as a human being. Okay. I work in IT. I came up with a new idea. I need to convey this message to my manager. So I will email my manager. What do you think if we change the policy with these points or upgrade our firewall or router? Okay. My manager will tell me, can you come for a meeting with the financial manager, because we need to convince the financial manager about the importance of this firewall to the company so they can give us the money. So now I need to present that. I need to answer these questions in front of financial manager and IT manager. I might get other managers involved, like procurement manager or other parties, risk management, facility management, and so forth. So having these presentation skills as part of your communication skills, it's important. So as a project manager, you need to have good relationship with your team. You motivate them, you inspire them, you mentor them, you teach them. You lead by example. So you develop relationships. You care about your team. You show empathy. Okay, it's not about giving orders. It is not the armed forces here. So planning, we will plan together. So you feel that you are part of the plan. And if you don't have this experience, at least you have some ideas. You already planned before for some projects. You traveled to this place for the first time. It was a project. You planned for this place. You planned to take this qualification. You are executing the plan now. This certificate 4 of cybersecurity, you are executing this plan. You are planning to improve your career by attending this qualification. So you have 1 year plan, 1 year study, you have milestones. Each unit you finish, you have the milestone. Yes. So you communicate with other students, you communicate with me. You are managing a project here. Some people even say every day is a project by itself. So at the end of this project, you are getting a unique outcome, which is your qualification. Is that the only thing you are getting from this certificate? No. You are getting relationships. You built a network. Some of you connected with me on LinkedIn, which is great. I encourage everyone to connect with me on LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, please have a LinkedIn account today. Today, don't wait till tomorrow. Have an account today at LinkedIn. Then, step by step, improve this account. It will help you a lot in getting jobs, building relationships, building your network. As a person living on Earth, you need to have relationships with other people. Not only personal relationships, I mean like a partner or something. No, you need other relationships. You need to communicate with your colleagues. You need to communicate with HR people or recruiters from different recruitment companies. You need to communicate with some managers and so forth. You need to follow some experts, subject matters experts or SMEs in cybersecurity or IT or whatever. So please, today, this is, if you can take a note with that, this is one of your homework. Create a LinkedIn profile today. Put your CV there. You don't have a CV? Create one. How to create a CV? There are hundreds of templates in Microsoft Word. If you Googled also cybersecurity officer CV, you will find thousands or zillions and so forth. So create a CV, basic one page, 2 pages maximum. 2 pages maximum. Even though if you have 30 years of experience, I'm graduated on 1992, by the way. I'm graduated from uni on 1992. And my CV is only 2 pages. No one will read 5 pages CV. No one will read 4 pages CV. They have 50 CVs, for example, for 50 people applied for this job, or 100 people applied for a job, multiplied by 100. So 4 pages multiplied by 100, this is 400 pages. It will go through the system. The system will scan and find matches. Maybe the system will select 40 out of 100 applied for this job. Then 40 times 4 pages, still 160 pages. Who will read 160 pages? No one. Okay, so they will go with shorter CVs. Create 2 pages CV, put this one on your LinkedIn, get a professional email. Please, you need to have a professional email, like first name dot last name. Please don't use emails like the black hat hacker at gmail.com and apply for a job with this one, or anything that might be too funny or offensive or anything like that. So it's better to have a professional one. Your name dot first name dot last name, or first initial dot last name, and so forth. Stuff like that. Emails, professional email. Have this one. Add it to your CV. Professional photo to your LinkedIn profile. Create the LinkedIn profile. You don't know how to create LinkedIn profile? Easy. Go to YouTube, search on how can I create LinkedIn profile. You will find thousands of videos there. Then maybe you have a LinkedIn profile and you need to improve that. Okay, improve. Also search for some tips and tricks for improving your LinkedIn profile. Okay, if you search across Australia about IT teachers, you will find my name in the first page. Maybe I am the 3rd or 2nd. Okay, so IT teachers across Australia in LinkedIn, you will find myself there. You will find my profile in the second, as a second result in the first page, 2nd or 3rd result. So at least one of the first 5 IT teachers. Why I'm doing that? Because, or how this happened, I just followed some tips and tricks from YouTube and LinkedIn itself. Okay. So this is the homework you need to do. Now we go back to project management. So this course is a project for you. Good. So the project managers will provide directions, will keep the discipline, will manage the 6 constraints that we discussed. Can you remind me of the 6 constraints? Can you remind me? On the chat, please write any of the 6 constraints that I mentioned. Time, yes, good. Money, yes, budget. Good. 2 out of 6 now. Resources, great. 3 out of 6. People part of the resources, yes. So we have HR, human resources, yes. So what else? What else we manage? As project managers or project team members, we manage 6 constraints. So you mentioned time, budget, resources. So these are 3. What else? Risk, yes, correct. Good. Now 4 out of 6. What else? Scope and quality. Scope and quality. Okay. So these are the 6 constraints we manage. So formal definition of project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet the project requirements. Okay. Good. Then let's think about a project. As an example, we use across this presentation. So we will build a new branch for our bank. So this is a project. Why we need this new branch? Because we have new areas, new suburbs that they don't have a branch for our bank, and we need to go there before other banks so we can get clients. So this is the time and the need for this project. So we need to have a branch in new area X, for example. Good. So the initiation here, this is the idea. And who will manage this project? What is the scope of this project? We will have a branch. Okay, 2 floors, 2-story building. What is the size of this building? How many staff members can work there? This branch should be near the shopping center or near maybe other facilities, maybe near a club, a sports club, or near the beach, or near the hospital. I'm not sure. So we need to think about that. So in the initiation, we will have the scope of this project. We will have the project manager assigned. We will have the project team chosen by the project manager. So we will have what's called initiation. We will have rough idea, very high level scope about also the budget needed. Do we need $1 million or 2 million? We can't. This is not a defined scope. So for a defined scope, we will say, okay, we will need around 1 million. So if it's 100 above or less, this is fine, or 200 we always have this margin, but it is not like double the cost. So from the project management life cycle, we have the initiation, planning, execution, and closure. So in front of you, you have 4 phases, but also we have the monitoring and controlling across everything. So this is the 5th one. So we have monitoring and controlling for everything. So for example, the planning phase will take 1 month or 1 year. The planning phase will cost me 10,000 or 50,000, because during the planning, we're spending money. We have people dedicating their time for the planning. We might need some resources for the planning. So some software, some license, some equipment, some computers, some place to work in, air condition, electricity, water, coffee, tea, all these things happening during the planning phase. So if the planning phase is 1 month, we will pay for 1 month payment for everything. If it's 1 year, multiply by 12. So we are monitoring that. We are controlling that. Execution also, we will execute the plan. During the execution, we will improve the plan because we might discover some issues. So we need to plan again to fix these issues. At the end, we will close the project. Then we can start another project to improve the current service or having a new service, current product, or having a new product. So we have what's called the project life cycle, and we start with the initiation. So the initiation, well, the initiation phase, well, include the definition of the project and authorizing the project. For example, authorize the project budget, authorize the project manager. Okay, select the place and so forth. Then the definition of the project will be included in the project statement of work, and we need to understand the statement of work very well, because part of the assessment will ask you to create statement of work. It could be in the business case. So I go to my manager, tell my manager that I need to, or we need to have a new branch for our bank. So my manager will tell me, get a business case. So what is there in the business case? Why we need this project? Rough idea about cost, resources, risk, the 6 constraints, and how we will deal with that. What are the benefits? What is the return on our investment? Some contracts maybe we can have in place. We will have also what's so-called project charter, and this is what is there, like project purpose, vision, mission. So we are having new branch for our bank, so we can get more customers, keep the loyal customers also, increase satisfaction, being closer to our customers, our current customers, getting new ones. We can have some measurable objectives like and success criteria. We need to measure that. We grow by 10%. We will get or we will have the high-level project description, requirements, and risks. Risks: is there a flood in this area? Is it too warm, too cold? Earthquakes? Is it near the bush, so bushfire risk? Or is it near the ocean, so some flood, and so forth? So we need to know about risks there. Some milestones. So in the first month, we will prepare the base. In the second month, we will have the first reception area, maybe, then second room, third room, second floor, third floor, if it is, and so forth. So we have some milestones. Budget also. The new branch will cost $1 million. So I have a rough idea about the budget. Who is the project authority, sponsor, stakeholders, and so forth. Stakeholders, people affected by this project. Then we start the planning. We will have the strategic planning and implementation planning. So we will have this planning happening, and strategic, like long term. Then we can have the daily operational planning. So these are the 2 terms here, and yeah, some examples we already did that. After that, we will execute the project. Of course, each of these phases will require lots and lots of details, but we are just discussing what we need for the for this unit and for our qualification. So here we will execute the plan and start the operations. I mean the implementation of the plan and different activities there. So we will monitor and control. We will take corrective actions. We will have some deliverables. So deliverable like what? In the first month, we have the first floor ready. In the second month, we have the second floor ready. Okay, I'm creating an application, for example. So in the first week, I have the printing function running. Second week, the save function running, and so forth. So we can have what's so-called deliverables. This is also will be used in your assessments. So after that, we will close the project. We have the outcome or the output of the project. We create reports. We make the final payments. We will celebrate the end of the project. We will have lots of food, drinks, parties, and lesson learned, documentation, filing, and so forth. So we do this part at the end. Okay, can we just take 10 minutes break? Then we will discuss the next topic. So we will take 10 minutes break, everyone, and for some stretch, coffee or tea or something. So I'll pause recording. Okay, we are back. So now here in this part, we are talking about the project manager duties and responsibilities. So we need to understand that it's of course different and vary from industry to another industry, but mainly, as we mentioned, you will manage the 6 constraints as a project manager. And in the project we have in this unit, we will need to think about these constraints, the 6 constraints. And we also get involved in each of the project life cycle phase, like initiation, planning, execution, closure, monitoring and controlling. So the project manager will be involved in the definition of the scope, clarifying this scope, developing the project plan, the project schedule. So we need to have that different policies and procedures, organizing the work, creating project structure, organizational structure. We need to identify the roles and responsibilities for the project team members. When you do the exercise, I mean the assessment, you will need to think about roles and responsibilities for everyone. Yeah. You need to think about who is doing what, and the relationships between staff members in the project. You need to so because of some technical issues with Zoom, we were disconnected. This is my first guess. I'm not sure yet, but anyway, we were disconnected, so we are connected again now. Thank you for your patience and sorry about any inconvenience. We were discussing what the project manager should do. Still high level, not in deep details. We mentioned he or she should manage or lead by example. And the most important skill, as we agreed, should be the communication skill. The project manager will motivate team members, assigning work, coordinate the activities across different functions, organizational function. What we mean by organizational function, if you have HR department, this is organizational function. If you have IT department, this is organizational function. The project manager will set team direction, will control, measure, correct, evaluate, track the progress, define the baseline. So how can I say we are doing good job or bad job? How can I say so? We need a kind of measurement here. We need a kind of baseline to compare to, so I can know that I'm doing good or just right, or I'm doing better than what is expected. So yes, correct. MBN project management fail. Could be MBN, could be yes, we have KPIs. Yes, correct. So the project manager also will create status reporting. So the project manager will report to different stakeholders or key stakeholders. Of course, we'll take some corrective actions. Here we are discussing something very, very important, which is the WBS, or the work breakdown structure. So if I have a big project, like building, let's say I'm building my own 2-story house. So this is, for me, this is the big project. So I need to break it down to smaller parts so I can manage it in a better way, assign tasks to different people and team members. So for my house, I need carpenter. So I will decompose the big problem, the big project, which is the house, into smaller parts. So smaller parts, let's say, for example, we have doors and kitchen, laundry area. So I need a carpenter to do that. So I'll take this part and assign this one to carpentry. Could be one person or one team. Okay. Then I have the plumbing job. So I need a plumber or maybe team of plumbers so they can finish faster. It depends on risk, money, budget, time, many things. Okay. Someone will do the walls. So I need a bricklayer or multiple bricklayers. I need painters to work after the bricklayers and so forth. So I will take the big project, decompose it into small parts, then assign these different parts to different teams. Okay. So it is one of the most important tools you can use when managing a project. So how it looks like that. WBS, big project into smaller parts. So house, then I have rooms or different tasks, the plumbing, the painting, the walls, and so forth. So then we take each part and assign it to different teams and number it also, so I can know the number, I can know the sequence of tasks. So why we need that? We have a big problem. So instead of managing this big problem, I will decompose it into smaller parts here, as we see here in the in this diagram. So these smaller parts can be managed easily. So here I have the project assigned to the project manager and her team. Then under that, they are assigning the walls to person X, the floors to person Y, then they are assigning to person or team, then they are assigning to different teams. So here I can manage the work in a hierarchy and in a smaller task, so it can be easily managed, monitored, improved, taking corrective actions, and so forth. So we need to have these WBS. What else? The org chart. So I need to know in my project, what is the organizational chart, who is doing what. Maybe Demi will be responsible for the finance part or financial part of the project. Alex will be responsible for the risk management. Darius will be responsible for procurement or resources and so forth. So every one of you will get some team members to help you with your tasks. So I will create the org chart and assign that according to their skills, not because of anything else, according to their skills, according to their background, according to their studies, according to their experience and their skill set. So we can have different types of the org chart, different types of organizations. We have some organizations like functional organization, like a hospital. They don't have projects. Maybe every 5 years, the hospital will maybe upgrade their equipment. So this is a project. So we are getting staff members from HR, IT, financial department into this project to upgrade their current equipment or having a new floor or something like that. So this is the functional organization. The projects are not really conducted on daily basis or continuously. We can have project-based organizations. So they have projects with project managers. So the executive will manage project managers, then team members. So they are assigned to different projects. So this team is responsible for financial projects or IT projects, or so we are changing the or loans or new loans products and so forth. So we can have metrics. So it's a mix between the functional and projectized. So we have the weak metrics. Weak, it's the functional management, like here. They have the functional managers here. They have the upper hand. They have the authority above their staff, and the project manager, they have less authority. In the balance, we have team members with project managers, so they have some authority here, like 50% authority. Or we can have strong metrics, which is the project manager has better authority, and they are have the upper hand. So this will, of course, influence the project management and will change the way we think about the project and organization. So the project manager will decide on the budget. The project manager will hire the team members. The project manager will decide on the plan if she or he, they have the upper hand, so they can decide on that. If the functional management, they have the upper hand, so they will decide on that. Okay. Good. So the scope, any questions for me here? Any questions? No questions on the chat. So the scope for our project here is will be discussed in here. So we have the project scope and product scope. So we have project scope and product scope. So The product scope, this is what the customer really cares about. Could be product or service, by the way, tangible or intangible product. So what are the features there? What are the functions? So the product scope, new iPhone, for example. So what are the features? Bigger, smaller, new color, better camera. So some features there, some functions there. My new application has, for example, new features. So it could be application intangible, could be a product like iPhone or Samsung or Android phone, and so forth, or a car. So we need to know the scope, and this is what the customer cares about. For the project, so the project scope here, we need to think about 3 areas. We plan for this scope and control that scope and verify this scope. So I might need to start a project with 90% quality, but the plan was to achieve a product with 90% quality. Then we can't really achieve that because of the raw material we have or people set of skills, their skill sets or equipment we have. So we will achieve up to 85% of the quality. So we need to think about quality management. We need to think about scope verification. Is that acceptable or not? Can we do something about that? Maybe increasing the quality will not, it is not possible at all. We don't have this amount of money, or we lost some resources, or we don't have this material, or some pandemic happened and we can't get materials on time from overseas. So this will reduce the scope or change the scope of the project. So we need to finish the project in 6 months instead of a year, and this will affect the product scope, the final outcome scope. So we plan for that. We need to know the requirements for the scope. So you need a new phone, or we need a new branch in our organization. Why we need that? We interview people, we have some focus groups. So focus groups, for example, I have here in this session, I have 16 people. So, but in this course, in this unit, I have 50 students. Now, if I conducted a survey and these 16 people, they agreed on something, and the rest of the people, they never agreed on something, so I will have the focus group here. This focus group, they agreed on something. The rest of the students, they couldn't agree on something. So I don't have another focus group or a bigger focus group. So now I will follow this decision. If that makes sense. Yes, Darius, you won. So we can have workshops to ask people about what they want from the new product or the new service. So these are the what's so-called workshops. So we define the scope. We will have the scope description, the product scope description, product acceptance criteria, when I will accept this product, how, what are the deliverables of the project, what are the exclusions. So this project is responsible for building the house only, or building the branch only, without putting the furniture or appliances there. So these are the exclusions. or we are not putting the plants, or we are not making the backyard, stuff like that could be exclusions and included in the scope definition. Constraints, we agreed on the constraints, 6 constraints, and we discussed them. Some assumptions. So when this project finish, we are expecting this project will finish in a year. It will be a building, 2-story building, white colored, located in this area, and so forth. Some assumptions there. Then we agree with the stakeholders. Defining the scope is happening at the very, very beginning of the project during the initiation phase. Yeah, so we not in the planning. In the planning, we will elaborate more on that. So we will plan in details how can we achieve the scope that we agreed with the stakeholders upon. Okay, so we will create after that WPS as we agreed. There's a link here for some more details about WPS. Then we think about the venue, power, sound, lighting, tables, chairs, catering, just some examples here. Then we will control the scope, otherwise scope creep might happen. So we decided to have 2-story building and we're ending up with 1-story building. This is not the right scope management technique here. We verify the scope, and this is part of the monitoring and controlling. And this is the scope management in brief, of course. Any questions for me here? Penalties, yeah, the penalties will be planned for and budgeted for in the contract, in the agreement. So good question. What about penalties for not finishing on time? Yes, we will agree on that, and we will have a written agreement related and defining what are the penalties we might pay or might be deducted from our payment. Thank you for this question, Darius. Any other questions? So after that, we will have the project scope statement. And in the scope statement, this will help you a lot to focus. So you have the boundaries, you have the common understanding between stakeholders. It will help you to manage the scope because it's defined. So project scope statement is important. So example, we will have a 2-story building located in this area, and this will serve as the new bank branch. You can add some more details. It's blue because it matches blue building. It matches our color theme. It can have more than or around 150 employees. So you can add you can add that to the scope statement. It will be built within a year. It will cost $1 million. So a kind of high level details. We don't go into, there are 50 desks in the first floor and 100 desks in the second floor, 14 walls and 3 toilets. We don't go into these details. We go into these details in the scope management documentation at a later stage. So we are here defining the boundaries, some specification for the product or service, everyone understanding that in the project, and this will help me to manage the scope creep. So we have the product or the service scope description, acceptance criteria. So yeah, we agreed we will finish in 1 year. If it's 13 months, it's fine. Project deliverables, first room will finish in the first month, second room will finish in the second month. Could be something like that. Or in the first 6 months, we have the first floor ready. In the second 6 months, we have the second floor ready. So we call that project deliverables. Some exclusions, as we mentioned, this project does not include network installation or servers configurations. We have some constraints like budget risk and so forth. Some assumptions. We assume that this product or this building will be blue. We assume that this building will maybe located in this area. We assume that the building size will be this area, the total land size will be this area. Penalty is not part of the scope. Assumptions, that's why we need to clarify the assumptions so we can have the common understanding. Yeah, assumptions can be dangerous. Yes, so we need to clarify the assumptions, write them, document them, so we can discuss them. Then we come up with some more details, and here there are links to additional readings, but after all, we will manage the scope from different points of views like quality, cost, time, the other constraints also. Any questions here about the scope management? Any questions? Okay, so budget. The budget is estimation for future. So we, from experience, from other SMEs, we can estimate the project budget. So if the project last year costs me 1 million, so this year we can calculate that with everything, the prices and everything. So maybe it will cost 1.2 million. So stuff like that. So we can estimate the project budget from historical information and records in addition to some updates. Okay, so it's important, of course, to estimate the budget, and we are getting authorization for this budget. Then we will control the cost when we spend the money. So we have the expenditure and we need to control this cost. So we have 6 pieces of information that will help you to prepare your budget. For each activity, I can have the cost estimation. And what are the bases of this estimation? Should we calculate based on current prices or expected in the future prices? I might have 5 years project. So what basis? Here I should estimate the budget for. We need to have contingency for the money. Prices might go high. Some lacking of products in the market will increase the prices because of whatever reason, because of COVID, because whatever. So prices go high. So we need to have some contingency here. We need to have some extra money. In simple words, what is the scope baseline? How can I manage that? Because if we improve the scope or we need to increase the quality, this is also change the cost, increase the cost. What is the time? Are we working on weekends? Are we working in shifts? Are we working 12 hours like miners? So we will pay more. What resources we need? Driver, electrician, consultant, computers, trucks, raw material, sand, whatever. So we need to think about that. Here in the contracts, we can think about the penalties, and this might answer your question, Darius, about where to put the penalties. It will be in the contracts, in the agreement under the financial management part, under the project management, the budget the budget for the project management part. Okay, so under contracts here we will have the penalties and the agreements for that. So of course budget will include everything. I need to hire a car, I need to pay money for the project management team, project manager herself, venue, rent, electricity, water, everything. Some insurance, some equipments for safety equipments, personal protection equipments, and other things. License, permissions, fees, yeah. Might need some lawyers, something. Anyway, we think about all of that and we include that in our budget. So here we start from the beginning, then we go up. So this is the project budget, cost baseline. Then it will go down again near the end of the project, and total cost for the whole project. The expenditure might start like that till the highest, might go down again. So it's an important part, and in detail the courses about project management, we cover everything in more details and much deeper than that, with all the calculations and everything. But again, we are just studying what is needed for our career in the beginning and this qualification. Any questions? Any other questions for me here? Any questions? So yeah, for the cost, we estimate the cost based on our experience, based on expectations for the future. We are getting feedback from people. How many person will work for me? What are their skill sets? What is the project duration? Because duration will affect on rent, electricity, water, and other things. So we can get and use some estimating techniques. We don't need actually to know much about that. We just need to know about the cost for each task. Then we add reserve, we add margin, we add extra money for future increase of the prices. Okay. Then we manage this cost. So we have the estimation and budgeting. So we are getting the so we'll do the estimation for the labor, for the material, equipment, services, facilities. So services like insurance, electricity, water, sewage, other things. Some facilities rent, some water, so between both. So we calculate that. Then we get the approval for the budget for the future estimation. We add contingency as agreed and discussed multiple times. Then we can have the baseline. So I know across my project, in the beginning, I will spend this money. Then when we go in time, we are spending this amount of money. So this is the estimation. And based on that, on this estimation, I will start spending, then compare to that so I can know if I am overspending or I'm saving some money. So I need to know. So you have $700 to spend in 7 days. So you can expect every day I'll spend $100. Okay, good. If one day you spend 150, what's happening? What's wrong? Why I spend more the baseline, more the cost, more than the cost baseline? If I spent in one day $50, yes, I'm happy, of course, but why? What happened? Have I forgot something? Was maybe my estimation is wrong? Have I saved something, found something on sale, or I have reduced the quality? It could be. So this reducing the quality may affect the scope or the quality of the product. So we need to worry about that. So overspending or less spending, we need to worry in both cases. So we need to know why. Make sense? I hope that makes sense. Yes. So have you skipped one meal in your daily estimated $100 for meals and going out? So we need to monitor that. We need to know about different costs, and could be on daily basis, could be on weekly basis. It depends on the duration and type of the project, also size of the project. Okay. Good. Okay, any questions for me? Okay, so next time we will discuss the rest of this presentation. We reached slide 100 now, so next time I will discuss the rest, and I'll stop recording now.